Hi guys, welcome.
Hi.
We haven't done a video out here since London came running out saying her hamster was dead.
That has been a while.
So we wanted to do a video where we actually sit down. It's been about a month, a little over a month, since we have seen you on a video like this, and that's because we shot 9 videos for Israel, and the 9 videos really ended up being each day. So 9 days worth of videos, one for each day. And so we've been just kind of sitting, not filming the Smiths, and just sitting around watching just like you. And first of all, let's give a round of applause for Paul for just absolutely crushing these little mini documentaries week in and week out, having every Tuesday. He never missed a Tuesday and Thursday. And he had a mountain of footage.
We filmed so much.
Between Ant-Man and me and multiple cameras.
Could have easily been 20 episodes.
Yeah, I think Paul's biggest problem, he would always admit, is what to cut out. Because, otherwise every episode would be an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And so to get it down to like the 25-minute range, he was cutting out massive pieces of content. And so first and foremost, just want to say thank you to our editor, Paul, and
Crushed it.
He's been crushing it.
And Ant for filming so much.
Yeah. Second, I want to give a shout out to Lincoln for holding Maverick back.
Mavi's literally screaming at the door, and Lincoln's holding the door closed so we can't come out here.
Just distract him, buddy.
Just go play with him. I'm sorry. What?
Did you hear that?
No.
Hummingbird.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Today's the first day.
I didn't hear it.
Or at least the first day I've noticed the hummingbirds are back. So they came from Central America. They come back as we're filming this. It is March the 27th. Whatever.
Never found a way out.
This is a terrible video so far, Paul.
Hey, it's great. No, I love it. This is life. It doesn't need to be perfect. So Maverick now is at the age where he knows if a door's locked, he will go to every door in the house to try to open it. So we're having to buy extra locks up at the top, and he's finding his way out of every door. All right, got that situated.
So Lincoln got his tonsils out, and that was actually a big deal because he's on day, what, like
7.
7? And so it ended up being a big deal. And so there's like little moments in our life that we've missed because the Israel videos were rolling.
So we have been filming a little bit behind the scenes, but we're gonna have to kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on since the Israel videos have come out, because it has been life. But
Up Toward the Light is coming out Tuesday. My new book.
Gosh.
It's a children's book, and I talked about it maybe a month ago on here, but it's coming out on Tuesday, April the 2nd. So be looking for that, Up Toward the Light.
you can pre-order it now.
Yeah, pre-order it now so that you could actually get it. I think I pre-ordered it, and so hopefully it comes. If you pre-order now, it should be on Amazon or whatever. It should be at your house by Tuesday. And then
really special.
We could talk about that next episode. But let's recap Israel.
Okay.
We need to talk about what we saw.
Okay.
We need to talk about the reaction that people have given us since the very first post. Like the very first time we posted about it, we've got probably like 80%, 70% really encouraging comments, and then like 20 to 30% people that were very hurtful.
Yeah.
And in their defense, if there is a defense, they were thinking we were being hurtful. That's why they commented, stuff did you hear? How could you support a people that are committing genocide, 30,000 dead? So what do you say to that, first of all, from what we saw to that? That's typically someone that doesn't know anything about this.
I think the media can post things that aren't exactly true of what's going on, and they can twist things to their own narrative. And I think obviously there are terrible things happening. There is evil going on. There are terrorists that are attacking people. And then there are people that are defending themselves, and there are innocent people getting killed in all the crossfire. I would say that what you are seeing on the media is not exactly what is going on over there. And I would say that everyone that we talk to in Israel, Muslim, Christian, Arab, Jewish, like all over the map want peace. They want peace. They are fighting against Hamas, against terrorism. They want peace.
Yeah.
So that's what we saw. And that was what we heard in talking to all the people. We didn't go to just one people group. We went in and talked with and prayed with many different origins of people. So I would just say you can't always believe what you see on the media. I mean, there was one instance where the Israelis were bringing in food in a van, and the van was stopped, and then the media twisted it. Yeah,
so a friend of ours that were there since we've been gone, this happened, that the Israeli government was sending in food aid. Now I'm not making this up. This isn't like something I heard from a friend. We saw there's food trucks that go into Gaza. And after we left, one of those food trucks got hit by terrorists, like almost all of them do when they get to the Gaza border. They get hit by terrorists. But at the same time, typically there are a lot of starving people running at the truck to try to get food. And they're going to try to get it however they can, even though it's going to be distributed in a fair way. Well, this particular time, the terrorist hit it, and the caravan moved quickly to avoid getting blown up, and consequently ran over a lot of innocent people that were also mobbing because they were just hungry. So like, they were
going in to try to provide aid, and then got stopped, and then innocent people again got hurt.
Tragically, like 13 people died in that one incident. Well, our buddy from Israel, who's pretty neutral in this situation, emailed us and said, "Hey, you're going to see some stuff come out in the news, and they're probably going to twist it. But here's the real story." Sure enough, because Israel's so many hours ahead, by the time our news came out, I got his email and saw the news. It was that Gaza was, or the UN, I think, was trying to get food to Gaza, something like that, and Israel blocked it. And then ran over people. And it was like, none of that actually happened. So there's things like that. There are things we're missing too.
Yeah.
Everyone has a slant to their story, and we certainly have ours. And so we're not telling you everything in complete clarity, because we are ourselves slanting towards what we tend to believe. But all humans do that. It's just important to realize that we all have slants. Now, people often attacked us in the use of even the word Israel. They said, "How could it's not Israel? It's Palestine. Get it right, you idiots." And that's kind of what they would tell us. Well, listen, we're not trying to make a political statement by saying Israel. We're going off what the map says.
Yeah.
Like that's the name of it. And so regardless if you think it's stolen, and not speaking to people in this video, I'm speaking hypothetically to the few commenters. If you think the land was stolen, that's one thing. And we could discuss that at a different time. And there's different pieces of history that could, connect dots here and there. And so whatever you believe politically about where that nation came from, the current existence of Israel, that's what the map says. That's what Apple Maps says on my phone. When we buy a ticket, an airplane ticket, it's to the nation of Israel. So I'm not trying to throw people off or throw some kind of slide at the Palestinians by saying Israel. That's just literally what it's called. And I don't want it to go any further than that. That's a different discussion for a different day. But Amber's right. Everybody we talked to wanted peace, whether they were Palestinian or whether they were Israeli, whether they were Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Catholic, atheist.
Every person
we
said
saw
they
atheists.
just want peace.
Yeah, we saw everybody saying, "Please say a prayer for Israel," whatever God you're praying to, really, because there's such a hodgepodge in Jerusalem of so many religions, that everybody collectively just wants peace. So there's that. Now, we didn't travel into Gaza, but we knew and saw a lot of people that were going there. And the stories coming out of there are completely mixed. And the one thing we know for sure is that the numbers you hear, like you get these statistics of deaths and things like that, those are coming from the terrorist. Those are coming from Hezbollah and coming from Hamas. And so in one sense, you say, well, these are numbers. And in another sense, you go, how could you possibly trust the numbers from terrorists that have a serious slant like we do, but they have a slant for their own good. And so, of course, they want to make it sound much crazier than it actually is. And not to downplay war. War is awful. But the one thing that was kind of consistent through our travel was that there are still, to this day, even now, the hostages that were taken on October 7th have not been released. And we saw the pictures everywhere. The hostages, it's a horrifying story. And like I said, war is horrible, and there's horrible things going on in Gaza from the Israeli government, of course, because it's war. But we also can't forget that there are hostages that are not being released by the terrorists that literally would stop all of this if they were released. I'm trying to say this in like the least political way I can, because honestly, I don't really care to appease all the different sides. I don't have a skin in the game as an American Christian. I don't have skin in the game to appease a certain group of people. We just wanted to come over there and bring the love of Christ and say, Jesus loves his people. And we came to say that the Christians are praying for you, and you're made in God's image, and you're made for God's glory, and we love you, and we want to serve you. We don't want war. We don't want anyone to die. We want to help in any way that we can, even if it's just encouragement or prayer. That's why we went. And I could care less about any kind of political slant other than that. That's why we went. And we tried as we're going. We didn't show a lot of that stuff on this video because we're protecting the people.
Yeah.
That's personal stuff. And I didn't want haters to comment against real people with real stories and real lives. And so a lot of that encouraging stuff to Muslims, to Christians that were under persecution, to Muslims that were under persecution. I shouldn't act like there isn't a group that's not persecuted right now, and the Jews. So all those people, we prayed with them. We had deep discussions with them. We loved on them. We hugged them. We brought them food.
We brought them food. We passed out Bibles. We passed out pins.
Yes.
Shook hands. Hugged babies. We just came over there with the love of Christ, because every single one of those people, no matter who they are made in the image of God. And so we just wanted to go over there and share that with them. And the Lord really blessed our trip. He just kept opening up doors to allow us to go into places we should not have been allowed to go into. Yeah. He kept opening up the doors.
And by no means do we say that so that you like pat us on the back and say, well, good for you, you righteous people.
No.
It's like, it has nothing to do with that. So we can't say that either. We're just sharing that in an attempt to warm some hearts. It's like there's a war going on. And we went over there, and hopefully it warms your heart to know that there are like-minded people, as you are, a lot of people watching this video. They were able to go over there and love on some people in an opportunity that maybe you, the viewer, didn't have, and that we were close to not having as well. So all that to say, I know that the last 9 episodes looked a lot like a fun travel vlog.
It looked like a vacation almost, and it was nice to get away, but yes, it was a mission. It was a mission,
and to make the video relevant and fun. We didn't want every single video to be us like crying. There was a lot of tears.
Yeah.
We didn't want like crying and praying and hugging to be every episode. We wanted to show you the beauty of the country and the really cool historical sites that we stand on as a faith so many times. But other than that, I'm glad I said all that. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about those actually fun moments. And we agreed that of all 9 episodes, Hezekiah's tunnel was the least exploited by us, and the edit that Paul did made it feel kind of good.
Yeah.
But it was the worst experience
it was
ever.
And a lot of that tension and anxiety was not shown.
That's episode 9.
That's episode, the one you guys just watched. It was crazy. It was, Granger already doesn't do too well in tight situations, tight spots. And first of all, you guys saw it. You're in a tunnel. A lot of you said you guys couldn't have done it. You guys would have been so claustrophobic. You're in a tight, tight tunnel. You have water up to your knees. All of a sudden, we started hearing this loud banging, 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 swishing of water and screaming. You're stuck. Like you can't really go back. You can't go forward. You don't know if there's people behind you. All of a sudden, we thought there was nobody in the tunnel. All of a sudden, we see these little lights turn around, and these people are yelling, children yelling and screaming, running at Granger. And we were like, no, you got to go the other way. You got to go the other way. Because we didn't know if something was wrong, if there was somebody coming in the tunnel, if somebody had got hurt. Like, we didn't know what was going on. You're stuck. And so we could feel our tension just start to rise. And they would go for about 20 feet, and it would happen again. They would scream and stop. They would go for 20 feet, scream and stop. And I could just tell Granger, he was starting to take deep breaths. I was praying over him. We ended up finally just starting to sing.
Yeah.
Granger just started to sing. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. And that truly brought our anxiety levels down. And what's funny is the Jewish boys started singing it back to us.
Yeah, a bunch of Jewish kids that didn't speak any English at all, only Hebrew, were stuck in this tunnel with us singing, I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. And they didn't know what that meant at all, but they were singing it loud, all of them, and it was a really neat moment.
It took about 45 minutes to get through that tunnel of stopping and feeling like you're stuck and not knowing what to do. But we finally realized they were playing a game. I guess that's something that they all do. They all run forward and stop, and then the water swooshes by real quick, and they make a lot of noise. And then they run forward and stop, and the water swooshes by them really quick. So we didn't realize that till we got out.
Yeah.
What they were doing. But yeah, that was not shown.
Insanity. If you guys haven't seen all 9 episodes, just know, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'd highly hope that you do go, because it was so encouraging for us, and to look back and years from now and to go and see the vlogs and the edit that Paul did for this. I hope that you binge it and watch all 9 episodes. And let's talk about the people that came with us.
Yeah. Because
I was also trying to be respectful, not to film a lot of faces, even though I was told that, hey, you could film our travel group. But these are some dear friends of ours, and we came from Oregon, Pennsylvania, and England. Mm-hmm. You could probably guess the British guy. You could probably easily guess who he was. But our leader, I want to send people to his Instagram, because he has a really encouraging Instagram, and he's just a lot of people that watch these either commented about him or told us in person. They're like, who's that really smart guy with you? And so there was a really smart guy with us. And so do you have your phone?
It's called Looking Up for Him with the number 4.
Yeah, number 4. I just wanted to make sure that's right.
Yeah, Looking Up for Him. And
Looking Up for HIM.
Our leader that you guys asked about, Granger had been prepping me for a long time about meeting him, and he lived up to everything that Granger had said. He is truly a character. He has a love for Jesus so deep inside of him. He has such knowledge, and he just has a joy. Yeah. He's just joyful and fun, and he led our group so wonderfully. And I think that was one of my favorite pieces of the trip was the people that we were with. I think he led us so well because he loved it so much that it made us excited. It's kind of like a dad that gets the kid the bicycle that he put together, and he's so excited, and so you get excited because literally Dad's so excited, we get excited, and that's really how it was following him around for 10 days. Yeah. Yeah, he did tell us a little bit about his story, is that when he was younger, he wanted to be the best at everything. He had to be the fastest, the strongest, all these things, and so it made a lot of sense when we went to Israel, because he was the fastest at everything. He was up the earliest. He was, he lived up to all of those things. But we had a great time with our group. Yeah. 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 It was a great group, and they have been keeping up with these videos as well. So there will be many more adventures with them, with a lot of those people. I just don't know how many times I'll be able to actually post it, because it's usually top secret stuff that we're doing, or just going to places, not top secret, but going to places where we're trying to protect the locals there. Because there's a lot of people, when I film stuff like this, Israel has a freedom of religion, but a lot of places don't, and it puts people in danger if they know that we're Christians.
and we put it on YouTube. It's just not responsible to do that. So these people that I love dearly, you could tell that I'm not like saying names a lot, and it's a protection mechanism, I guess you could say.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
So
you had to pick one thing, what was one of your favorite things that you got to do or see?
I think going up on the wall in Jerusalem each morning to watch the sunrise, and it got a little bit on these videos, but because everything was so rich of an experience, whether it was climbing the serpentine path, or the floating in the Dead Sea, or seeing the old Roman city, or being on the Sea of Galilee, or seeing the lightning in the Sea of Galilee, or seeing where Paul stood in his defense against Agrippa in Caesarea, or the rainy day in Capernaum in the synagogue. There's a lot, but I think watching the sun come up, reading my Bible, looking visibly at the old city of Jerusalem, and then reading about the city of Jerusalem, which is, as I read my Bible plan, the McShane plan, it's going to take me through 4 chapters every morning, 2 Old Testament and 2 New. Mm-hmm. And almost every time I read, 3 of the 4 is talking about the city of Jerusalem in some way, if not all 4. And so to read it, hear it, see it, smell it, feel it under myself on that wall, is like, I don't know if especially the one when I watch the sun come up from the behind me on the Mount of Olives. I don't know if I could top any other experience to those moments. Yeah. How about you?
That too, getting up and reading your Bible in the places that the Bible speaks of where Jesus walked. But I think one of my highlights was the Sea of Galilee. And we were on a boat sailing the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus first called a few of his disciples, where the storm was, and we were on a boat, and the song "It Is Well" was playing. It is well with my soul. And I was just thinking, in the storm, just Jesus calming it and everything being well. And I was just thought of I got emotional because I thought of everything that we had been through in the last 5 years, and how are we floating on the Sea of Galilee? And I'm hearing "It Is Well," and I was just praising the Lord in my heart, thanking him that it is well. And no matter what I face in this life, it is well with my soul. And so I think that was a really special moment for me. And then they had the storm that night, and we saw the big lightning, and just that was one of the really special moments for me.
And then
the Sea of Galilee.
Just a few days later, we saw "It Is Well."
Yeah.
Handwritten, the actual handwritten on the hotel stationery, on display in a frame.
I cried then too,
in Jerusalem.
And y'all didn't see that, but that was really emotional for Granger and I. And we almost didn't get to see it. And out of their kindness, the kindness of our group, they stopped for us so that we could go see that, because they knew how special it was. So that was really special.
Yeah. Yeah, what a trip. And I think I'll end with this. I said it a little bit in episode 9, or part 9. If you're thinking about going to Israel, do it. Do it. And
it will change your life.
And do it now. Don't worry about what the news is going to say. It's a very special experience to go now, because most people are scared because they're getting wrong information. We never saw anything dangerous. A lot of people asked us, "Did you see rockets?"
I never felt I never felt unsafe. There were moments of tension. You could tell there was a heavy tension everywhere. Yeah. But we never felt unsafe. And our driver, Rami, you guys can, I think we said ramitours.net is his website.
Yeah. RAMITOURS.net.
There were places we wanted to go, and he said, "No, I'm not going there. It's not safe for you guys there." So he led us to all the places, and if he didn't feel safe, he didn't take us there. So we had that as a blessing too. And he's open for tours. So.
Yeah, and I think you would find that it's probably a little bit cheaper now. Flights have gone down a bit because there's just not a lot. Airbnbs, like we stayed in. I'm assuming if you start looking now, the prices are pretty good, and you're not going to wait on any restaurants to get in. The food's absolutely incredible. So I think you would have a little bit better budget of a time right now. And I'm not telling everyone to go to Israel. I'm just saying, if you've been thinking about it and some reason canceled your trip, or you're getting cold feet, we're here to tell you, go watch the 9 videos we put out. It was a fantastic experience, and it was like going to a popular amusement park with no one there. It was a really special time. So
Yeah.
we love you guys. Thank
y'all for following along and all your comments. And
it's been encouraging.
So much. It means so much that you guys have gotten so much out of it. Because a lot of you have said you've wanted to go, or you haven't had a chance to go, or you might never go, and that this really brought Israel alive to you and brought the Bible alive to you. So thank you all for watching it. It was really special to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for also defending us in the comments against the haters. I love when people disparagingly comment against us, and people that actually know us will come in and try to correct it in a loving way. I don't like any fighting in the comments, but the people that go, hey, you just don't know Granger and Amber, thank you for that. That's amazing. And we'll see you back on our normally scheduled program starting next Tuesday with stuff around the farm. And remember, Up Toward the Light comes out Tuesday. So go order that, pre-order if that's your thing, especially if you're into like kids books, or you have kids or grandkids. Go grab that on pre-order. It's like probably $12 or $15 or something, I guess. And it'll be there Tuesday.
It might be labeled as a kid's book, but adults love it too. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Love you guys. Yee yee.
Love you. See ya.